Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Monday morning, and welcome to fall. Autumnal equinox is today. And we're starting off astronomical fall with a threat for some severe weather later this afternoon and into the evening time. We'll get all into that in just a second. First, looking at your weather headlines as we head into the new work week. Again, looking at a warm day today. Above average temperatures expected for us not only today, but for much of the extended forecast. Again, we'll have a warm day today, some cooler days Tuesday, Wednesday, but generally looking at above average temperatures as we head today and then into the upcoming weekend and then into the week next week for us as well. Like I mentioned, there is going to be the threat for some severe weather tonight, starting this afternoon into this evening, then into the overnight hours. Hail and wind are going to be our primary threats, but there is at least a low-end threat for an isolated tornado or two that we'll have to watch out for. And then cooler weather expected as we head into the day on Tuesday with cloudy skies and again some off and on showers going to be possible for us as we head into the day on your Tuesday. So again, a lot to kind of pick apart here as we head over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. You look at the Lincoln Weather Almanac numbers from yesterday, a little bit above average. Our normals are now down to 78 and 52. We were at 81 and 55 yesterday. So, again, it was fairly pleasant outside. Pretty nice day. Again, no moisture yesterday. We're at just over 3 inches of moisture so far for the month, which, again, is a good amount above average for us. But for the year, we're still about 2 2/3 of an inch below normal. But, again, is the possibility that with some storms tonight, if we do see those come to fruition, that we could see some areas of heavy rain across the area. And, again, with today being the autumnal equinox, again, about 12 hours of daylight, about 12 hours of darkness. Again, sunrise about 7:14, sunset about 7:25. So, again, that's almost right around 12 hours on the dot there. Look at low temperatures this morning, anywhere from the upper 40s to the low to mid-60s across the state. Here at the Lincoln Airport is down to 56. A little bit warmer in the metro area with tempest weather stations across Lincoln showing low temperatures generally in the lower 60s. Skyview cameras from across the state, again, showing a little bit of cloud cover. There's a few showers out and about early this morning here in the capital city. See if we can get this punched back up here. Here in the capital city, seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there. Also, unfortunately, did see an accident near the station here on 40th in Vine. Let's see if I can get that camera moved. There we go. So a little bit of cloud cover here in the capital city. Otherwise, again, a pretty nice start to our Monday. Current conditions right now in Lincoln, again, just a couple minutes past 9 o'clock, 66 here in Midtown Lincoln, 65 at the airport, light south wind. Dew points are a little bit on the little muggy, 63. Again, it's not terrible. Humidity's at 93%. We have had some areas of patchy fog this morning, but again, not an issue for us here in eastern Nebraska. Current temperatures generally sit in the mid to upper 60s on the tempest stations across the Lincoln Metro. Current temperatures across the state and the coverage area generally in the lower to middle 60s. 67 is your warm spot. That's in Norfolk as well as Columbus at 66 in Albion, 64 in Grand Island, 60 in North Platte this morning. And again, dew point numbers generally in the lower to maybe middle 60s for the 10-11 coverage area. I think these could be just a touch on the humid side as we head into this afternoon. Again, with that threat for some severe weather, there is a cold front that's kind of slowly creeping its way across the state, so moisture kind of pooling ahead of that front. We'll keep an eye on that. Winds right now, generally out of the south or southwest, fairly light, 5 to 10 miles an hour, but again, eventually we will be seeing those winds swing around more to the north and northeast as that cold front slides its way through the state, not only potentially sparking off some of those thunderstorms later this afternoon and this evening, but bringing us much cooler weather as we head into the day tomorrow. Satellite radar picture here in southeastern Nebraska. Again, there's a few stray clouds here and there, but otherwise generally quiet and fairly dry. We zoom out, look at a statewide view. We've had a little scattered showers kind of drifting through central Nebraska early this morning, dropping maybe a little bit bit of rain at times, but again, not overly impactful as we start our Monday. But again, a little bit of cloud cover out there, a few scattered showers. If you look at the visible satellite imagery, again, we can see some of that activity drifting to the from west to east across the state this morning. So again, a little bit of cloud cover likely going to be moving our way here in Lincoln and eastern Nebraska as this little wave of showers moves on through. But again, the main activity, the main focus for that threat for severe weather won't be arriving until later tonight, later this afternoon and into tonight. If you zoom out, look at a regional view. Again, some stronger storms up across portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Those are generally weakening. We did have one stronger thunderstorm still on the board. Those are being sparked off by, again, that same cold front that we're gonna have slowly drift through the state through the day today, and again, giving us that potential for thunderstorms later this afternoon and this evening. Nationally, again, a lot of scattered activity kind of across the country. Nothing overly impactful, though, early this morning. If you look at the weather alerts, not a whole lot for us to worry about. Some dense fog advisory stretching across portions of Kansas into Oklahoma. We technically do have dense fog advisory for portions of extreme southwestern Nebraska. Again, have had some dense fog issues early this morning in some parts of the state, but not the entire state. So we check out Skycast. We run you through what we expect as we head over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Through this morning, again, some spotty showers can't be ruled out. A little bit of cloud cover drifting into portions of eastern Nebraska, but we're generally dry. Then as we head into this afternoon, where we're first going to start to watch is kind of northwestern Iowa. I think that's where thunderstorms are initially going to kind of start to develop along that front. And then what we're going to want to watch is if we see some extension of that thunderstorm development into portions of northeastern Nebraska late this afternoon into early this evening. And then that activity is forecast to eventually drift southward as we head late this evening and into the early part of the overnight period. And those thunderstorms, again, could potentially be on the stronger side, producing strong winds, damaging wind gusts 60 to 70 miles an hour, potentially some large hail up to 2 inches in diameter. And again, we can't rule out an isolated tornado either. Again, that activity would then kind of drift through southeastern Nebraska as we head late tonight into the overnight hours, and then that front kind of just stalls out across the area, and that's going to keep some off and on rain and cloudy skies, cooler temperatures in the forecast as we head into the day on your Tuesday and through most of the day on your Tuesday as well. And then as we head Tuesday into Wednesday is when we kind of start to dry things out just a little bit as the forecast turns a little bit drier for the second half of the week into the weekend, and then even into early next week. So if you look at the rainfall potential over the course of the next week, again, it's not a ton, and again, really our best chance is going to be with thunderstorms tonight and then scattered off and on rain showers as we head into the day tomorrow. That severe weather outlook, again, we have a marginal risk that covers much of the central and the southern plains, and then several areas with a slight risk. So that's, again, a 1 out of 5 and a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather threat scale. And that slight risk, that 2 out of 5, it does cover most of eastern Nebraska, including the Lincoln and Omaha metro areas. And again, large hail, damaging winds would be our primary threats with those thunderstorms, but we also, again, are watching at least a low-end threat for an isolated tornado or two as we head later this afternoon and then through this evening. That slight risk extends back into portions of northwestern Iowa, where we're expecting those storms to initially develop later this afternoon. So, again, if you look at the threats, this is the tornado threat for the day today. Again, it's going to kind of east central northeastern Nebraska, extending into portions of central Nebraska, so kind of Highway 281, and then areas to the east encompassing the I-80 corridor, and then up into northeastern Nebraska is our at least low-end kind of risk area for an isolated tornado or two. Wind threat is going to be, again, highest in the eastern portions of the state, and then over the border into portions of western Iowa as well, and then the threat for some large hail as well, again, potentially up to about 1.5 inches to maybe 2.5 inches in diameter with some of those stronger thunderstorms. It's not a sure thing that we're going to see these thunderstorms. Again, the short-term convective models that we look at, some models have a lot of activity, some models don't have nearly as much as activity. Again, getting into late September here, we have some of the ingredients that we'd like to see for severe weather development, but not all of the ingredients for severe weather development, or some of them are at least maybe a little bit limited. Again, some of the best lift with this setup right now is actually associated with an upper level trough that's kind of over the Great Lakes. So again, it's kind of some of the best lift isn't necessarily right over the area like you would want to see. So again, the threat is somewhat limited. So again, not a surefire thing that we're necessarily going to see severe weather, but if we do see it again, it could be rather robust. So we'll keep an eye on it certainly as we head into this afternoon and into this evening. Severe weather threat for the day tomorrow shifts off to the south and to the east over portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, and then into the day on Wednesday. That severe weather threat shifts well off to our south and east, where we do have a marginal risk in those areas. So we zoom in, take a closer look. Again, this is our in-house model. This morning keeps things pretty dry. This afternoon, generally keeping things pretty dry, mix of sun and clouds. You can see by 5 o'clock those storms developing first into portions of northwestern Iowa, and then along that front, as that front kind of slows down and stalls out, we could see that additional thunderstorm development into portions of northeastern Nebraska. Our in-house model here, again, really doesn't have anything threatening the Lincoln area until 10 o'clock or later tonight. And then that activity will slowly kind of drift south as we head through this evening into the overnight hours and then into the day tomorrow. Cloudy skies, off and on, kind of scattered showers, much cooler conditions expected through the day. That's our in-house model. Rapid refresh model, another convective allowing model that we like to look at. Slightly different solution. Again, keeps things generally dry through the morning, dealing with some clouds, maybe a spotty shower or two. And then as we head into this afternoon, you can see by 5 o'clock, doesn't have much of anything developing, but as you head past 5 o'clock, what we see is really quickly thunderstorms developing basically right along the I-80 corridor. This is 8 o'clock this evening, a much different picture. Again, thunderstorms basically developing right along Interstate 80 between Lancaster County and up into portions of the Omaha metro as well. If that solution were to verify, again, we could see some heavy thunderstorms in and around the Lincoln area as we head right around sunset and shortly after, with that thunderstorms kind of lingering across the area as we head between 8 and 10, and then between 10 and midnight still have scattered thunderstorms impacting much of the eastern quarter of the state, with thunderstorms kind of hanging around as we head through the overnight hours and into early Tuesday morning, with again cloudy skies, cooler conditions, scattered off and on rain showers, isolated thunderstorms then through the day on your Tuesday. So again, the rapid refresh model offering a much sort of different picture of things over the course of the next 36 hours than our in-house model. I would tend to lean more towards the rapid refresh model. I feel like it just has a little bit better of a track record, especially with the convection and the thunderstorm development. But again, like I said, this scenario is a little bit of vague. So again, not a whole lot of certainty or confidence necessarily in the forecast. Threat is there, potential is there. What actually comes to fruition, we're going to have to continue to wait and see. So if we look at the Lincoln precipitation chances, again, have to put a number on it. Over the course of the next 24 hours or so, small chances, I think, this afternoon, late this afternoon into the evening, that chance begins to go up. I think chances for rain and thunderstorms potentially could be highest between about 10 p.m. And about 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. But we're going to keep that chance for some showers and scattered thunderstorms in the forecast through most of the day on your Tuesday. So again, it's one of those scenarios where certainly if we're not seeing anything before you go to bed tonight, it would have a good way to make sure you can get some of that weather information while you're sleeping overnight tonight. Again, 1011 Weather app is a good way to do it. No Weather Radio is a good way to do it. Again, they're loud, they're obnoxious sounding, but again, they're designed to again wake you up and give you that weather information during those critical times again when you are sleeping. And so again, if you look at the precipitation potential over the course of the next 36 hours, again, models kind of all over the place. Our in-house model, technically speaking, doesn't have any moisture here in Lincoln. It has thunderstorms in it, but it doesn't have any necessarily rain here in Lincoln. The rapid refresh model, like we just saw, it's on the other end. It has almost 4 inches of rain over the course of the next 36 hours. I do not think we're going to get 4 inches of rain, but I do think those areas that do see some, potentially do see some thunderstorms this evening, they could end up with some areas of heavy rain where they could see half an inch to an inch and a half of rain through a short amount of time. So again, we're dealing with kind of both ends of the spectrum here. One model showing really nothing, showing thunderstorms, but not necessarily thunderstorms impacting Lincoln. One model showing quite a bit of moisture in there as well. So again, a pretty wide range in outcomes for us tonight, and that's why we said there's still not a ton of confidence in this forecast. There's still a lot of uncertainty. which is why we want you to make sure you stay up to date with the forecast as we head through the day today and into this afternoon and into this evening when those thunderstorms will be possible. As far as temperatures go, we're expecting a warmer than normal start to the work week. Temperatures today going to be climbing into the lower to middle 80s ahead of that cold front that's going to be moving on through. So again, 85 here in Lincoln today. Again, you'll remember our normal high temperature nowadays in the mid to upper 70s. So these numbers aren't horribly above average, but we are above average to start the week. Again, 78 still our normal high here in Lincoln, and it's similar numbers for Grand Island, Hastings, Omaha. So again, above average start to the work week. Low temperatures tonight, generally staying above average as well. Again, keep in mind our normal lows are down into the lower 50s now, but we're looking at upper 50s, low 60s for most of the coverage area. Then much cooler weather heads our way for the day tomorrow. Again, behind that front, cloudy skies, scattered rain off and on through the day. We'll look for temperatures topping out mid 60s to maybe low 70s across the state here in Lincoln, around 68. Same in Grand Island, mid 65 for Hastings, Kearney, as well as North Platte. So much cooler into the day tomorrow with the clouds, with the off and on rain. Behind that cold front, a little bit of a northeasterly wind through the day tomorrow. And that's where temperatures kind of bottom out. Lows then into Wednesday morning, anywhere from the low to mid 40s to the mid 50s across the state. Temperatures rebound into Wednesday. It looks like we should see generally dry conditions on Wednesday, more sunshine, temperatures reaching the middle 70s across most of the state, and then a cool morning, Thursday morning, again, low to mid 40s to low 50s across the state, around 52 in Lincoln. Again, that's about where we should be this time of year. And then Thursday afternoon, temperatures climb back above average, upper 70s, low 80s across the state. Friday morning, again, close to normal, mid 40s to low to mid 50s. Friday afternoon, though, back above average. Temperatures generally hanging out in the lower to middle 80s across the state. And you look at the 7-day forecast, again, rain chances will be highest today into the day tomorrow. Some lingering low-end chances for moisture on Wednesday, but then past Wednesday, forecast really dries out. Thursday, Friday, low to mid 80s. That continues into the weekend. Mostly sunny, dry conditions expected through that time frame as well. If you look at the 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, again, we can see today is the warm day. Tomorrow, behind the front, clouds and rain. Temperatures will be cooler. Wednesday, kind of a transition day, going from the below average temperatures back to the above average temperatures, which then hang out through the rest of September and into the first day or two of October. As temperatures, again, aren't going to be hot by any means, but looking at lower to middle 80s Friday through the weekend and then through the first half of the week next week, which by October 1st, our normal high temperature here in the capital city, if I can punch it up here real quick, October 1st, normal high is 74 by that time. So again, we should be in the lower to middle 70s by the end of this 10-day period. As far as dew point numbers, again, kind of getting to the time of the year where we can probably pitch the dew point forecast as we get into kind of late September, early October. And again, you can see on this graphic a little bit of humidity at times, I think today and maybe tomorrow for the eastern and southeastern parts of the state, but for the most part over the course of the next 10 days, really uncomfortable dew points expected for us in the forecast. And then the rainfall chances through the next 10 days as well. Again, you can really see it's today, it's tomorrow, and then maybe some lingering activity Wednesday in eastern and southeastern Nebraska. And then after that, forecast is pretty dry through the second half of the week, the weekend, and into the first half of the week next week for us as well. So a drier pattern emerging. So again, it'd be nice if we can get some decent rainfall this afternoon, this evening, tonight. Hopefully not too much rainfall, but again, hopefully, it'd be nice to get some before we see that pattern really begin to kind of dry out just a little bit. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Again, kind of saw this in that 10-day forecast, but favoring above-average temperatures for much of the region. This is September 29th through October 5th. And again, we saw with the, low to mid-80s in the 10-day forecast, and again, some warmer overnight lows. That would, again, obviously factor into this as well, but continuing to see those above-average temperatures through that 8 to 14-day period. And again, kind of unclear in terms of precipitation. Again, areas just off to our east, favoring below normal precipitation. Areas just off to the west favoring above average precipitation. We're kind of sandwiched right there in the middle, so no clear signals, at least in that 8 to 14 day period, if we would see above or below average temperatures here in the capital city. So, but again, the big thing for us to kind of keep our eye on today is going to be that threat for some severe weather. If I can punch it back up again here really quick, this is the severe weather outlook for the day today. Again, have a marginal risk that covers most of the 10-11 coverage area. Slight risk across portions of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa. So again, that's 2 out of 5 on the severe weather threat scale. Again, meaning some isolated to scattered severe storms are going to be possible as we head into this afternoon and into this evening. But also, like I said, again, there's still some uncertainty in this forecast, so we're going to keep an eye on it. But it's going to be a cold front that's kind of slowly drifting its way through the state. That is going to be the focal point for the potential for some of these thunderstorms. So again, you can see that slight risk covering eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, into north central portions of Iowa. That marginal risk extending into central and southwestern Nebraska, as well as kind of into the Sandhills and up into portions of northwestern Nebraska as well. Low-end threat for some tornadoes, but the chance is not zero, so we'll keep an eye on the potential for an isolated tornado or two this afternoon and this evening. Main threats would likely be wind. Again, could see some gusts, 60, 70 miles an hour, as well as some large hail. Again, hailstones, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. Again, that's about the size of an egg or so, are going to be possible. Some of those stronger thunderstorms later this afternoon, later this evening. Again, I'll show you the two models. Our in-house model keeps things pretty quiet till about 5 o'clock or so, starting to then see some of those thunderstorms develop in northeastern Nebraska before then they kind of push south into the area overnight tonight. Rapid refresh model showing a much different solution, developing thunderstorms kind of over the I-80 corridor as we head past 5, 6 o'clock this evening. So again, there is the potential that maybe if those thunderstorms pop a little bit sooner, could impact that evening commute. And then the rapid refresh model, again, keeps a lot of that thunderstorm activity through the area, in the area, through this evening, and then continuing into the overnight hours. So again, if that solution were to verify, we could see, again, some areas of very heavy rain across the area. Again, saw there, this model has almost 4 inches of rain in the Lincoln area, and again several inches of rain in the surrounding areas. So again, still some uncertainty in the forecast. So like I said, we want to make sure folks have a good way to get their weather information as we head through this afternoon and into this evening for this threat for thunderstorms tonight. Not a slam dunk that it's going to happen, but again, their potential is there. So I want to make sure folks keep tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of the latest. So again, make sure you have that 1011 weather app downloaded, have it on your devices. Have that 1011 app downloaded on your Roku, your Apple TV, your Fire TV, those places. Again, we're live on there fairly often. Again, make sure you subscribe to the 1011 YouTube channel as well. Again, we're live on there a lot, covering not only severe weather but other breaking news and other news that's happening across the coverage area. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, we'll keep our fingers crossed that again maybe we can get some rain and not severe weather tonight. That would be the best of both worlds there. But we'll keep an eye on the forecast as we head through this evening. So hope everyone has a nice Monday, and we'll see you next time.